the one class that I had where we had to write about how are you going to get involved politically, and I wrote about having different subject matters in the classroom, making sure that there's multicultural literature in the classroom, making sure that all the kids who come from different and varied backgrounds are appreciated. And boy, did that serve me well, because I teach at a school that is so culturally diverse that it helped me to understand a little bit more, and also because of that get involved in the community. And I am actually much more involved with parents, the community here, and also even the city of Redmond where I don't live, because I know that as a teacher I have to be out there, very much out there, and actually advocate for the profession, which is something that honestly I think until you go into teaching you don't realize, and University of Washington did emphasize that, and I really, really appreciate that now.
One of the big components that really struck a chord with me is the social justice aspect of education. I see it now that I'm in a classroom and I can see my colleagues, especially ones that have been teaching for a long time. They're missing that component of being able to work for equality and make sure that maybe traditionally marginalized students are getting their due and allowed to really, show their true colors and have them expected to do that as well. And but being able to teach with a social justice angle to it, especially in the social studies, is just invaluable. And I find that the students, once they see that that is the angle that you're taking, are completely engaged, and they're not, oh, this is the same old drab history textbook. They really can understand it, because that's the lives they lead now, are such multicultural classrooms, and it helps all of them be able to really take ownership of the lessons and the histories and the interconnectivity of all the students.
One of the areas that I focused in on during my master's studies was really working with kids that had gender or socioeconomic issues. And I was really interested in working with girls in the realm of math and to really help them achieve at a higher level. I'm finding in the classroom that productive group work and challenges throughout the day, the way I structure my math lessons so that they're very interactive. Every child's accountable for everything in the classroom. The girls are achieving beyond my imagination now. Their hands are up, they are actively engaged. There's a lot of turn and talk. My classroom no longer is a silent place. It's a very active hum throughout the classroom, but kids are working together and really problem solving. The math courses at the university helped me to restructure my math instruction. I've also restructured and changed in how I teach writing. I found a lot of the boys, and they're just the gender bias, but the boys were reluctant writers, some of them, and we more favored the girls, and just they were more flowery in the way that they talked and addressed their prompts. The boys, I'm finding through using some of the methodology I learned at the U, are now writing, and it's a real subtle thing, gradual at the beginning of the year, but it's so subtle that by the time the boys realize it, they're writers, and they're writing along with me. But it's very, again, interactive, and the boys kind of need that. Lots of group brainstorming, getting their ideas going, and by the time they're actually drafting their drafts, they're so eager to get going because they have so many great ideas. I think all of that came from my studies at the U, and just restructuring how I lay it out with the kids and how I pose my questions helps me to be a more effective facilitator of learning for all my students, and that gave me the strength and the skills to do that. So that was a benefit I got from the master's program.